Ford still sits at the top of the US auto market. Not because every single model hits a home run, and not because they get everything right on the first try, but because the blue oval keeps earning trust year after year. People buy Fords because they know exactly what they're signing up for. Solid engineering, familiar tech, and trucks and SUVs that actually fit the way real people live. That kind of dominance doesn't just maintain itself. It takes constant updates, calculated risks, and the discipline to refine what works without destroying it. As we look ahead to the 2027 model year, some well-known names are set to hold their ground on the sales charts, while a few new or heavily reworked vehicles are lining up to make some serious noise for better or worse. So let's take a closer look at the 9 Ford models coming in 2027 and figure out whether any of them are actually worth holding out for. Excursion heavy-duty SUV. Ford isn't just flirting with bringing the Excursion back. They're going all in. Not as a nostalgic nod, but as a full-blown modern flagship SUV. The new rig is expected to share its bones with the Super Duty trucks, and that alone tells you everything about the kind of vehicle this is going to be. But size is the real headline here. The 2027 Excursion is shaping up to be the largest SUV on the market, bigger than the Suburban, bigger than the Wagoneer EL, and bigger than the Expedition Max. Under the hood, Ford is going with proven muscle. The star of the show is the 7.3-liter Godzilla V8, an engine that's already built a strong reputation in the Super Duty lineup. For buyers who don't need quite that much power, the 6.8-liter engine steps in as the more sensible option. Both mills keep things naturally aspirated and refreshingly simple, which feels almost bold in a market that can't stop shrinking displacement and bolting on turbos. Mustang Raptor. This one is a bold swing. Taking the iconic pony car and throwing it headfirst into Raptor territory is a bit like turning a thoroughbred racehorse into a rally truck. But here's the problem. The car is fighting against its own identity. Mustangs are built for carving corners, chasing straight-line speed, and nailing that perfect balance of size and agility. Stack on truck-style suspension, oversized tires, and a lifted ride height, and you're asking it to do things it was never born to do. It's still a Mustang, but now it's also trying to be something else entirely, and that middle ground is a dangerous place to live. Too big for the track and too small and impractical for real off-road work. Then there's the price. Mustang buyers are used to paying for performance, but the Raptor treatment pushes the sticker into territory that's tough to justify. For a few thousand more, you could drive home a full-size Raptor with proper off-road hardware. The Mustang Raptor ends up being an expensive, flashy compromise that doesn't fully deliver on anything it promises. Ranger Super Duty. For anyone who's been frustrated watching midsize trucks fall short when it comes to towing and hauling, this is the answer they've been waiting for. The Ranger Super Duty isn't just a slightly pumped-up Ranger. The headline spec is a factory towing capacity of 10,000 pounds, a number that typically lives in half-ton territory, now squeezed into a midsize frame. The Ranger Super Duty is gearing up for its US debut, and it looks ready to shake up the midsize segment in a big way. But the story isn't just about numbers on a spec sheet. Ford is building this truck to feel like a proper Super Duty. Stout suspension, upgraded brakes, and engine options that deliver real-world grunt mean you're not giving up durability just to get a smaller footprint. Crown Vic. Don't go expecting a full-size, body-on-frame sedan rolling down the highway the way the old one did. Those days are gone for good. Instead, Ford is giving the Crown Vic a modern makeover, blending classic presence with a contemporary edge. Most fans would love to see it come back, and that part is encouraging. But the powertrain conversation is where things get complicated. The Crown Vic was always a V8 machine, but those days are over too. Ford has teased a low-cost electric version, which has some buyers excited, though plenty of others remain skeptical. Would the Crown Vic lose everything that made it special if it goes fully electric? Most likely, yes. A V6 option, though, feels like the sweet spot. Enough punch to stay credible, modern enough to fit today's market, and honest enough to respect what the nameplate meant. Super Duty Hybrid. Ford is talking up a hybrid version of the Super Duty, and it's hard to work up much enthusiasm about it. Heavy-duty trucks aren't built to save fuel. They're built to take a beating, day after day, job after job. Adding hybrid tech means adding complexity. More systems, more weight, and new maintenance headaches. For a segment where reliability and toughness are everything, that's a tough sell. Diesel engines still own the heavy-duty space for good reason. They deliver torque you can count on, run long hours without breaking a sweat, and have decades of real-world proof behind them. Switching to hybrid just for modest fuel savings feels sideways. That said, there's a longer play here. Electrification in trucks is coming, whether the market asks for it or not. And getting reps with hybrid Super Duties now could give Ford a meaningful head start on serious electric or hybrid heavy-duty solutions down the road. Ranchero. Ford bringing back the Ranchero is one of those moves that makes you raise an eyebrow, pause for a second, and then slowly start to smile. The Maverick already carved out a surprisingly strong niche, proving there's a real market for compact, practical trucks that don't take themselves too seriously. The Ranchero could push that concept a step further. Think of it as a Maverick with a bit more swagger. Car-like comfort, truck-like usefulness, and a style that actually turns heads. If the 2027 model honors that formula, there's very little to complain about. The Ranchero could also claim a more premium position than the Maverick, and if Ford throws some extra performance into the mix on top of that, this thing could be worth the wait for fans of this specific breed of vehicle. Taurus. Ford is planning another comeback, and it's hard not to feel a mix of curiosity and healthy skepticism. On paper, a new Taurus has some appeal. In reality, the bigger question is whether anyone outside of longtime fans actually cares enough to open their wallet. Sedans aren't the force they once were, and Ford has spent years pouring its energy into trucks, SUVs, and crossovers. Even if the Taurus shows up with a V6 under the hood, a strong feature list, and a design that earns a second look, convincing buyers to trade their crossover for a big sedan is going to be an uphill fight. The positioning question is just as tricky. Does the new Taurus chase mass market appeal, or does it aim upscale without stepping on Mustang or Explorer territory? Both paths have landmines. Budget-conscious buyers might balk at the price, and premium-oriented shoppers may see it as a nostalgic revival that doesn't match the practicality or excitement of a modern crossover. F-150 Dark Horse. This is a truck that wants to be everything at once. Part Raptor, part street machine, part pony car attitude crammed into a full-size pickup body. The Dark Horse tries to inject some Mustang swagger into the F-150's brute force DNA, but trucks and pony cars operate on completely different physics. Mashing the two together leaves the Dark Horse in an awkward spot. It's heavy, it's tall, and it's trying very hard to feel nimble. Any truck enthusiast will tell you that a pickup chasing sportiness usually ends up feeling compromised in both directions. A jack of all trades is a master of none. And much like the Mustang Raptor, this kind of identity blend tends to please nobody completely. Not the dedicated truck crowd, and not the performance fans either. Maverick ST? The Maverick has already surprised a lot of people, and for good reason. It's a genuine joy for city driving, weekend runs, and anyone who wants utility without the bulk. Its standout calling card has always been fuel economy. But the ST package is where the Maverick stops being just practical and starts feeling like a proper driver's truck. Sportier suspension tuning, sharper steering, a more aggressive body kit, and a boosted turbo engine come together to create a compact pickup that's playful, responsive, and just a little bit cheeky. All of that without throwing away the everyday usability that made the original Maverick such a well-loved machine. The ST takes the efficiency the Maverick is known for and channels it straight into performance, and the result is something that genuinely earns its place on the list. And that's a wrap on Ford's 2027 lineup. 9 models, some exciting, some questionable, and a couple that could genuinely change what buyers expect from the blue oval. If you want to stay ahead of every reveal, every spec drop, and every smart buying move, hit that subscribe button and join the community over at Sophia on Wheels. And if you found this video worth your time, you have to check out the video on the new Toyota Tamaroa 2026. Is the work truck everyone was waiting for, popping up on the upper left of your screen right now. Watch that next, and then come back and let me know which of these 2027 Fords would be your first pick.